What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $1,602 in the first hour of trading today. It's currently 11:38 a.m. and I've added a little bit more to that total. I'm up 1682 or 86 right now, and I think I'll be done for the day. So I just want to get this video out. First and foremost, I want you to invite all of you to my free Discord chat room that I run. Link for that is in the description of this video. Come on in if you have questions. If you're a new trader, we'd love to help. We've got a great staff. A lot of people like to help. A lot of experienced traders, a lot of new traders, so you won't feel like you're an idiot and the only person that doesn't know how to trade out there. I ran a poll this morning, and I asked people, how many of you were green your first year of trading? And I had probably about 30 people in my voice chat section of my room that heard me ask that question, and only one person said that they were green their first year of trading. So if you're a new trader, you're red, you don't know what you're doing, please come in. Love to help. I hate watching people lose money. There's a lot of people here to learn. And again, also, if you're an experienced trader, love to have you as well. So anyway, let's get into the trades. So my first trade was MYOS. This one, it hits my scanner, and I take a look at the daily chart, I take a look at the news, and I'm just not interested in it. It's a stock I've traded before, so I know it can move. And I just wasn't interested in it. So I started looking at other stocks. And what I came back to is, and you'll hear it, I'm listening to another chat room, listening to Ross Cameron with Warrior Trading. Highly recommend them, by the way. Link for them is in the description of this video if you're interested in it. He starts talking, and I hear him say a big wall is sitting at, I can't remember, it was 156 or something like that. No, it was 164, 65, something like that. And he's talking, and as he's talking, he's saying it's getting chewed up, buyers, buyers, buyers. And a lot of times when, a stock's hitting the low float scanner and it's got a big block on the ask, on the L2 here, and that it starts getting chunked out, a lot of times you'll see people buy as that big wall gets taken out. And when I flip over to it, I see that wall's almost gone. I try to buy 4,000 shares. I get filled at 165-ish, somewhere in there. And a lot of buyers step in, and it starts to pop. I still have at 170. It pops up to 190. And it looks like the momentum's kind of stopped, so I try to sell as it's coming back down. And my second sell sells at 169 down here. I was very disappointed in that one, as the second half was, I tried to sell at 180. I've been an extra $200, but instead I got filled with everyone else selling. And that's why, I always say you've got to sell in the pops, because if you wait till it starts to drop down, you're not going to get as a good a fill. So luckily, I sold my first half at 170, made profit, so I was able to hold that second half and for a little bit bigger gain, which would have been nice to sell at 180, but again, I got filled at 169, so I made about 190 bucks on the first trade.
Afterwards. Let's rebound. Wow, already back to the high here. Cheaper stock. $42,000 shares of pre-market volume.
ACIA opening range breakout.
14,000 share seller, 65, 13, 11, 9,000 shares, getting bought up 876, 1,000, 5,000, 421, then boom, 72. You see how it starts to get bought up when you see that on the level 2? That's what you like to see. Now at 80, you've got 85, 90.
Jeez. So my next trade was IQ. IQ was one that I was watching because of the daily chart. The daily chart, if you look at it here, it has this pop, pullback, and then as it goes candle over candle in the daily, it does a really nice pop again, right? That was the last time we did it. Pop and run, really. So we had this pop, now we have a pullback candle, and now we have our next daily candle over candle. And that was kind of was watching for to give us that next maybe move up. So it was on my morning watch list. I was just kind of watching it. Out of the gates, it sold off, bit pretty hard. Um, I almost took it for a red to green move right here. You know, this is a red, and then this is the first candle over candle. That sometimes is an entry point. I didn't take it. So it pops up. This teal line right here is the VWAP. So sells off, pops up, breaks the VWAP, comes back down. And a lot of times, these stocks, when they pop through the VWAP, they don't just take off the first time. A lot of times they'll pop through it, come back, and what I like to do in this case is wait for the second pop through. So pop, pull back, and then candle over candle. Right here would have been the entry, 29.70. My problem is I was late to the party. I got to the ticker slow. I start fumbling and try to get in, and I end up getting in at freaking like right here. You know, inside this candle, and this is where I get in at. By the time this is where I should have gotten in. And if I missed that entry, I should have just waited. But instead, I get in 20 cents higher than where I originally wanted to. So, you know, again, when the VWAP breaks like it did, you know, most of the time, what happens is when a stock breaks its VWAP and it comes back up to it, VWAP is now resistance and it'll move back down. Okay, but sometimes when it pops through it, it'll pop through it and come back down to test the VWAP, and then the second time it breaks through is the one it runs on. And you kind of see that's the way it played out here a little bit. And I was looking for that second break, and I was just too slow. And I should have not taken this trade. Instead, the fear of missing out took over me, and I still took the buy at 29.89, and you know, I was just afraid that this thing was just going to rip on the daily chart without me and break 30 and break high day. And, you know, I got in it and it just drops on me. And at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I freaking chased it. Stop loss was going to be the low of the previous candle. You know, we're inside this one right here. So I was going to have a stop low of 29.54-ish, you know, somewhere right there. If it broke that, and I'm out, you know. It would have been a big loss, but I would have to, you know, I'd have to respect that. So you can kind of see right here, I got it 29.88, okay, right there. I had to wait 2 minutes before, because you see here, it pops up, pulls back. It popped up again, pulled back. You know, so it was very volatile in this range. And finally, I was like, you know what? It's given me a chance to get out here for a small profit. You know, break even would have been great. I'm going to get out and wait for a better setup. I chased this one. I got a bad entry. I just need to cut it and wait for a better setup. So I ended up getting out, luckily, for, you know, a penny win, penny and a half, 30 bucks. But it could have been worse. I did end up playing it again, as you'll see in just a second. But I was very happy to get out with a small profit. And again, you know, if you miss your entry on a stock that you've been watching, you just can't chase it. And if you chase it like I did, you could get burned pretty bad. I almost got burned for probably a $1,000 loss on this. I almost lost 50 cents a share, but it turned out okay.
6 minutes in.
PRAN hitting the scanners, former runner. There's IQ move.
Light speed back up. Yeah, the first 7 minutes are so important. Never nice to be offline during that time. Yeah, nice job, Jay, on MYOS.
MYOS, yeah, I saw that one. It's, well, no, that's another low float. What's it got? 4.4 million?
That's That's one of their routes. I wouldn't use that route if you're using smart routing.
AXON trying to curl here, 349.
On the bright side, Warrior Trading Sim is running
63.
well this morning.
$170 or so, I'll be double my goal.
I would trade the
MDGL,
IRA.
like a built the golf team getting a pop here.
I almost took MYOS, but the volume was so light, I just felt a little. I wasn't sure this is a strong enough market to take that type of trade. You know, it's holding up relatively well.
That MDGL is up over 300.
So my next entry on IQ was just a minute later. It was inside this inside this candle right here. So, you know, here we had a pop, pull back, candle over candle. This is where I should have gotten in the first time, and it popped up and I was sold up here, no doubt. Now I gotta wait for another pullback and then I can play the candle over candle. So here's the second pop. Here's the pullback candle right here. And I went long as soon as we're inside this candle now. As soon as we broke the high of the previous pullback candle. On the first time it goes candle over candle right here. I get in at 29.95, so right there. And I'm looking for 30 break. As soon as it goes, you know, I'm looking for high day break now. I'm watching the L2, so, you know, I had it on my L2 at the time. I'm watching it, and, you know, just watching the time and sales. It's popping up, breaks 30. I'm thinking, okay, high day is next, and then the bid starts getting whacked and the L2 starts going down. And that's when I sell. So still made money on it. Didn't get that high day move that I wanted, which was unfortunate since the daily chart was so nicely set up for a nice move up. Just it didn't want to do it, so had to cut it loose, move on.
One of these that had a big run anyway.
Nothing
Might have
on
been
scans
the,
right now, and I
somebody
still
has
not-
something
Now I'm going
like
to go long here in just a second. Long at 96 on IQ. Looking for 30 break.
Yeah,
There it
so
is. Need
that's-
high day.
Yeah, they are going to do settlement margin on the IRA.
16% now, almost 17%.
AXON trying to break
Following
under
Elon
330.
Musk's comments
If
on
you're having
Invest Today.
any
at
issues
the,
in the
annual
sim, it's
meeting
not working, whatever,
presentation.
send us an email.
All right, I'm out. 30.04. I'll get back in for high day break. So my next trade on was IQ again. This time it was a news play, and you'll hear the news come on, and it says IQ chatter on the name. And I didn't hear exactly at first what he said, but it ended up being that Disney had taken a stake in IQ. Chatter, unconfirmed chatter, you know, just rumor, and they were taking a stake in IQ. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, a lot of times, you know, 99% of the time, these rumors are false. So you always have to keep that in mind when playing these news plays. And a lot of times, you know, someone has started this rumor for a reason, and that's probably to sell their shares. They needed volume so they could sell their shares, and that's what I believe happened here. You know, you'll see me. I get in as soon as I hear the news, and I sell very quickly for a quick scalp. This is the candle where the news comes in. You kind of see that volume spike of 300,000 shares. And, you know, as soon as I get out, you'll see it just drop very heavily. And more than likely, I think it's sold off after that. Yeah, it's sold off after that. So it's probably somebody creating a lie, getting it out there to the news sources that everyone subscribes to, looking for some chumps to sell their shares into. And I believe that's kind of what happened here. Otherwise, this stock should have just gone through the roof. If it was believable, but nonetheless, you know, it made a quick little profit on that, 5 cents on 2,000 shares, $100, and just a typical news play.
IQ in the Quebec IQ hearing has made a strategic investment. This is unconfirmed chatter.
Unconfirmed chatter and IQ.
Announced shortly. That's unconfirmed
you know,
chatter,
at this
most likely
point,
content agreement plus stake in the
coming up on
recent IPO.
10:15.
Again, that's unconfirmed chatter being circulated now on India, Quebec, and
It's so
DIS.
unusual to take my first
And
trade
Disney,
with
IQ and Disney chatter. That sounds like baloney. So this next trade was ACIA short. So if we look at the 5-minute chart here, this kind of tells a story. So it popped up out of the open, pulled back, popped up, and I was looking for the continuation move down for a 5-minute candle under candle, which would have been the break here. 3409, breaking that, and breaking 34, whatever. And the reason why I played this one was up with NXPI yesterday. NXPI, there was some positive news with ZTE, a China company, and when that positive news comes out, NXPI, you can kind of see, just jumped like crazy, like $6 yesterday, and ACIA did the exact same thing. It jumped a good bit as well. I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my hand. If I can go back here. Whatever. It jumped yesterday on that news. So today I'm thinking to myself, it either can pop or drop, and there's just no love for this thing this morning. So I was looking to short it, and at this exact same time, NXPI, which is the bigger dog, it was selling off, and as it was and it was actually red on the day, and ACIA was still green on the day at this time. So when it was green on the day, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this thing's got to catch up to NXPI, so it's worth a short here. So I went short. Here we are on that 5-minute chart again, right here. So let's see, 1012 is where I went short. Right here is where I went short, and I only took 1,000 shares. I was looking, and this is like the 5-minute 3409 level that I was looking to break. I was looking for this to break, and then this to break, and then the 34 to break, and just a flush. So there's a lot of things, a lot of support that it could have broken and gotten me a flush. Unfortunately, it popped up a little bit on me. It did end up breaking down. I was really looking for that 34 break. It did end up getting it over here, but then it popped right back up over 34. It didn't flush out like I was looking for, so I ended up covering. I actually had a phone call again, so there's just real world getting in the way, so I ended up covering while I was on the phone just so I could focus on my phone call. But this trade, just, you know, NXPI again. Oh, let me see if I can type. NXPI was selling off, and I was kind of watching NXPI, and it puts in this double bottom right here. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's probably going to bounce, which it ended up doing. And, you know, it just told me that maybe ACIA is going to bounce as well, which it also ended up doing. So I just took my small profit. I think I made, you know, $30 on this, and cut it loose, moved on.
To Oxford. I've read this thing like 5 times,
Great,
and
Tom.
I
Glad to
just
hear
clicked date.
I'm short ACIA 3409. Looking for the 5-minute candle under candle. Thought it was going to go, but it didn't.
coming up in less than 10 minutes.
OGEN. This is a stock I'm very familiar with. You can see here on the daily chart. You know, it loves to pop and drop. Loves to pop and drop. Loves to hit, especially this 200-day moving average. Recently, it's run into this 100-day moving average now. But it just loves to pop and drop. Stock I'm familiar with. You can get in early, you can make money. If you chase it, you will lose money. It's pretty simple. So, stock I'm familiar with. It's in my what I call my trader Rolodex. And I pull it up because the chat room's talking about it, one of the chat rooms I subscribe to, and they look at it as in a positive light. And you know, the thing about these chat rooms is there's like 3,000 people each in one of these chat rooms, right? So if one chat room's talking about it positively, I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's multiple chat rooms talking about this positively, especially since the stock we're all familiar with, we've all played before, it likes to run. When I hear them talk about it positively, in a positive manner, I just go long. I'm thinking to myself, okay, worst case scenario, I go long at 158. You know, right here. We're at the VWAP. Thinking to myself, worst case scenario is it breaks 150 and I stop out. Maybe lose 10 cents, 200 bucks. Sure enough, as soon as I buy, volume comes in, they buy. At least one chat room buys, pop it up, and I just sell for a quick scalp. The daily chart wasn't the prettiest. This last pop, it's pulled back 100% of this move. It didn't even hold up anything. The daily chart was curling, so it had room, and then sure enough, it smacked its head right on that 100-day moving average right up here before it came back down. So I was just scalping it. I knew there was going to be a resistance here, and I like to sell into resistance because usually they don't break through it. And, you know, just took a quick scalp in at 158, out 163, 5 cents, $100.
Iraq says it will export first oil on its own tanker since 1991.
9 million share float.
House Speaker Ryan says, I think we are pretty far into the deadline to renegotiate after this
Among OGEN 158 chat room pump.
For just a little scalp. I'd say target of 270. It's kind of like a 10, maybe 15-cent winner type of stock.
Out 163. So the next trade was OGen again. This time it was a news play. A guy on social media that I follow, he puts out that they were rewarded a patent in the EU for something. So a lot of the times these patent plays, they're good for, you know, a nice 10 cent, 20 cent move sometimes. So I get in right when I hear that news. You'll hear me talk about it when I show you the live trade. I get in here, whatever was it, 26. So right inside here at 163. Gets a quick pop up, and I just looking to put money in my pocket, scalp it. I'm not looking for a $2 move. I'm not looking for anything crazy. Just getting a quick scalp. Got about a 7 cent, 8 cent winner on that on 2,000 shares. Nice win. OGen granted EU patent for replacement therapy. They just got a patent news out.
OGEN. Orogenics getting a pop to the high on volume, $1.67. Oscar Golf Echo November.
Added at 265 for the break over 270.
So my final trade in the first hour was GEVO. Now this one I got in early on, and it was kind of lucky. So yesterday I was playing GEVO, and I actually set up some alerts. You know, if a certain amount of volume came into the stock, I would get an alert through each trade, and if it hit high of day, it would a chime would go off through each trade, and I forgot to turn that alert off. So when it so that alert actually carried over to today, and that's what happened. So GEVO first hits my alert. Not even a scanner. Didn't even hit any scanner, nothing. It just had, you'll see me click over here in this area. Through the magic of editing and how I set it up for the videos, you won't see what I'm clicking on, but I'm basically closing out the alert that just hit. and that just I pull up GEVO right when after I click that alert. I come over and I pull up GEVO. I'm like, why is volume coming into this? So it was very early in getting in GEVO, because at this time in the morning there's like no volume at all, like at all, at all. You might have had 10,000 shares of out of the open, you had 10,000, so you might have had 20,000 shares of volume between here and here. Alert goes off that someone bought a certain amount of a block trade of I think it was 5,000 shares or something like that, which hit my first alarm. Come over here, I see that there's a big block on the L2 at $4, and you'll see it. And I'm thinking to myself, if that gets chewed up, I'm going to go long, because this is a stock that has recently done a reverse split, and recent reverse split stocks tend to just go nutso. And it's a super small float now. It's only 1 million shares outstanding. So anyway, I go long because I see a block on the L2 getting chewed up, and it pops through that. But the reason why it was popping was because people were circulating an article. And I don't even know where the article came from. You can listen to when I showed you the live thing. Benzinga talks about it, where the article came from. And the article was out yesterday, so it was old news. So that's why, when I exit, I bought 2,000 shares at 403, and I exit at 433 and 462, thinking to myself, this pop is overdone because it's a day old news. It ends up halting, and double halting. So I left a lot on the table, to say the least. But nonetheless, I stuck to my guns. I made money on it, and this was a lot of luck. If I didn't have my alerts up from yesterday still on GEVO, I would never notice the volume coming in. It didn't even hit my scanners. Like, never did it hit my scanners, which I don't know why, but it didn't hit my scanners. It didn't even hit. I don't think it hit these scanners over here. This is more of a broad market high day scanner. Nope, didn't even hit it. You can't see it. It was off camera, but they have another scanner on the right here. Anyway, I just never would have seen it without that accidental alert. So it pops up. Benzinga guy says the article's a day old, so I sell. As soon as I sell, it goes into a halt. Does this double halt. I do end up trading it later on in the day, but basically was break even after that. Didn't really make any more money on GEVO, but that was it. Made a nice about $900 on this trade, and you can see my exits once I show the live video. So here we go. It was patent news. They got a patent granted to them in the EU. GEVO.
Tried to sell on the app 1,300 shares at 72, and the rest of it.
I mean, patent news is weak news, but you can move a stock. I'm long GEVO. It's getting some volume right now for some reason. Long GEVO 403.
Tapping the 200 and fading off that level, so it'd be nice if it opened up, but it might not.
Oh gosh, the spread's just. Why is GEVO moving? That's got to be a chat room.
GEVO, GEVO. GEVO getting mentioned in an article being circulated.
Getting mentioned in an article. They got news.
Article was out yesterday.
Article was out yesterday, though.
Says EPA is about to allow
out half 433.
Made by GEVO. GEVO mentioned specifically, and has worked with BP. That's Golf Echo Victor Oscar getting positive mention.
Coming into this now. All right, just bought some 432 average here, GEVO.
Squeezing up the bed.
Out the rest 462.
Yeah, it's a small put.
Shares of GEVO.
And that's how I ended the first hour trading, up $1,600, $602. And as you can see, GEVO just halted right there without me. But nonetheless, made a killing on that trade and happy to be green for sure. If you have any questions on my trading style, feel free to come into my free Discord chat room and ask. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.